Hey guys, it's Uncle Mike, the not too grumpy old man. Yeah, it's been a long week, guys. I don't know if any of you guys took a look at the video for Safe Haven. Um, I did some math. Some of the places I looked at, you could, yeah, that's an interesting thing. I'll work on that a little bit more. Uh, Anyhow, look, guys, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had the pleasure or displeasure of dealing with law enforcement. I really don't. So I figured, give me just a second. Oh, had to pick up the good. Now, look, I don't know if you guys have ever had the pleasure or displeasure of dealing with law enforcement, but let me enlighten you because I actually have quite a bit. In fact, I've been in that courtroom so much it's really my courtroom. People don't get that. But that aside, let's go with the first and foremost, guys. Know your rights because the cops won't tell you your rights. That's not their job, and they don't do that. And I can tell you firsthand that most cops, not all, get it wrong. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. At least for me personally, I'll get my opportunity very soon to show off my little bit of brain that I got left. But in the process, know your rights because I truly believe that the power is knowledge. Knowledge is power. Any knowledge is power, and that's a given, and especially in court cases because I see court cases are really simple. They follow a very strict set of guidelines, and usually, like I tell everybody has a boss. Please remember that. If you're a cop, you have a boss. If you're the cop's boss, you also have a boss. And that boss has a boss and a boss and a boss and a boss. Till you probably get to the president, then you're out of bosses. But even then, you still got your peers. Um, so everybody has a boss. Um, Secondly, cops will try and intimidate you. And for most people, that usually works. For most. Somebody like me, I guarantee you that the problem here is I have been on the streets and I have seen things, and things have been done to me that would make grown men cry and cower. It's that simple. The fact that I'm still sitting here talking to you, well, that's just God's grace, guys. Because the truth is, I probably shouldn't. I should have been dead several times over many years ago. But I haven't, and so I've got to endure and endure and endure, and I'm not complaining now, guys. I'm not. Is the one nice thing about enduring as much as I have is I've got to see a lot of shit, and I'm in the process of seeing a lot of stuff. I've retained quite a bit of knowledge, and so being said, that's the first thing. Knowledge is power, and the more you know, the less they can get away with. And now I'm not saying that all cops are bad. I'm really not. In fact, I absolutely have the utmost respect for law enforcement. I think that they do a very crappy job that nobody else wants to do for a very shitty amount of pay and take a lot of shit doing it. So I understand their jobs are hard. I really do. I get it. I feel for you guys. You always have my support. But this much I can say: you step on the wrong toes, and eventually, somebody's got to bring things back into some sort of perspective. Well, that's what people's bosses are for. Because, see, I was in the military at one point, so chain of command. Granted, it was a very small stint. So any of you guys that know me, you know it was small. But either way, there's a certain called chain of command. Well, the chain of command keeps going up. That means that Mr. Patrolman has a boss. The patrolman's boss has a boss. I said this: bosses, bosses, bosses. Till you get to the president, and even then, you have the peers. So that see, there's one of my things, and I brought this up for a reason because I feel that that Safe Haven, if we somehow manage to make Safe Haven work, we find enough people. By the way, the magic number right now is 1,400. We need to find 1,400 people, and I was well. I'm still working out the details, guys. But right now, I'm eyeing up about 7,500 acres. I think is what it is, and a nice gated place. So stay tuned. There'll be more information about that. In the meantime, be careful with your local law enforcement. Don't get in trouble. Uh, but if I lived anywhere else in Altoona, um, I could tell you horror stories about these guys for a PFA that make me cringe because I can't figure out how they managed to fuck up their job so many times here in Altoona. But what are you gonna do? They blame it on the DA. The DA blames it on the cops. Can't talk to the judges, or can you? Hmm. See, like I said, everybody has a boss. Knowledge is power. Piss at the wrong person eventually, and somebody's gonna find out. Um, I the worst part about it is, okay, I don't really want to go into the situation that I'm going through with him. Just suffice it to say that it's whatever. It's miscommunication. I'm not going to say it's a fuck up. It's just miscommunication. Um, that being said, there was no communication from their side. It just was plain out and out cop crap. Uh, with a heavy dose of trying to intimidate somebody that just doesn't get intimidated anymore. Uh, yeah, what are you gonna do? Take away my birthday? Please, I've been trying to give away that for years. I've been in jail. Um, at the end of the day, I'm I don't have filters. I speak my mind. If you want it sugar coated, by all means, go to Dunkin' Donuts, pick up a donut, but don't ask me for it because I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you straight. I say this: I have no problem with cops, but when you find a bad cop, hold him to it, put him to task, and make sure he knows never to do it again because he truly shouldn't be on the force if they can't do their job in the first place. They're not doing anybody a service, not you, not me, and not themselves. So that's my PSA for the day. Um, I started to say, so I feel like Safe Haven, though, should be a place where the police force doesn't exist. The police force is the peers. I feel that that's proper. I feel that there's probably people out there that feel the same way as me that I do when it comes to that. And it's not that I have a problem with the cops per se, it's just I have a problem with the bureaucracy that goes with it. So, being said, guys, look, that's my outtake on today. Be careful. Knowledge is power. Hold your local law enforcement to a higher standard because that's what they agreed to. And that's what my town agreed to. And if any of you are watching it, just remember that when you took an oath to do a job, not to do your opinions, your assumptions, or anything else. And I'm sure that you found out that most people will be decent if you're decent with them. Yeah, I used to know a lot of cops on this force here. It's funny. The one lady that talked to me that had some issue. I don't know who her the guy that retired prior to her was to her, but I can't really think they could have been that close family because I I knew the other one really well. And they're nothing alike. So whatever. Anyhow, guys, this is your old pal, Uncle Mike, the not so grumpy old man. But boy, he's got some tricks up his sleeve. Signing off. You guys have a happy Sunday, and I will talk to you again this week. I'll let you know what's going on. Surgery is Tuesday, guys. Wish me luck. You're taking a big cyst out of me, so hopefully I feel quite a bit better after this. Anyhow, guys, have a great one. I will talk to you next week. Sorry I was long winded today.